The life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is replete with profound examples of forgiveness, leniency, and mercy, even in the face of immense personal injury, persecution, and hatred. These episodes are not just historical anecdotes. They are the very embodiment of the Quranic description of him as a mercy to the worlds. Quran 21:107. Here are some of the most powerful episodes that illustrate this. 1. The conquest of Mecca, the ultimate forgiveness. This is arguably the greatest example of forgiveness in human history. The background. For 13 years in Mecca, the Prophet and his followers were persecuted, boycotted, tortured, and driven from their homes. His own relatives were killed. He was publicly mocked and an assassination attempt was made on his life. He finally fled for his life to Medina. The event. After 8 years, he returned to Mecca with an army of 10,000, not as a vengeful conqueror, but in a position of absolute power. The Meccans, who had inflicted unimaginable suffering upon him, were completely at his mercy. They expected slaughter and retribution. The act of mercy. Standing before the terrified citizens of Mecca, he asked them, "O people of Quraysh, what do you think I will do with you?" They replied, "You are a noble brother, the son of a noble brother." He then proclaimed the words that have echoed through centuries, "There is no blame on you today. Go, for you are free." He granted a general amnesty to the entire population, forgiving even his most bitter enemies like Abu Sufyan and Hind, who had mutilated the body of his beloved uncle, Hamza. 2. The visit to Taif, patience in the face of brutality. The event. After facing intense persecution in Mecca, the Prophet traveled to the city of Taif to seek protection and convey his message. Instead of listening, the leaders of Taif incited the town's slaves and children to drive him out. They pelted him with stones until his shoes were clogged with blood, and he collapsed, wounded and bleeding. The act of mercy. At this moment of absolute physical and emotional despair, the angel of the mountains came to him and said, "O Muhammad, if you wish, I will cause the mountains surrounding this city to collapse upon them." Despite his pain, the Prophet's response was one of profound mercy and foresight. He replied, "No, rather, I hope that Allah will bring from their descendants people who will worship Him alone, without associating any partners with Him." He prayed for their guidance, not their destruction. 3. Forgiving the woman who tried to poison him. The event. After the Battle of Khaybar, a Jewish woman, Zainab bint al-Harith, prepared a roasted lamb for the Prophet. She had laced the meat with a powerful poison. The Prophet took one bite and sensed the poison, spitting it out. One of his companions, Bishr ibn al-Bara, who had eaten more, died from it. The act of mercy. When the woman was brought before him and confessed, saying, "I thought if you were just a king, we would be rid of you, and if you were a prophet, you would be informed," the Prophet forgave her. 4. Forgiveness towards a hypocrite. The event. Abdullah ibn Ubay ibn Salul was a chief hypocrite in Medina. He constantly sowed discord, betrayed the Muslim community, and even slandered the Prophet's wife, Aisha, in a notorious incident, the event of the slander. His actions caused immense personal and communal harm. The act of leniency. Despite all this, when Abdullah ibn Ubay died, his son, a sincere Muslim, asked the Prophet for his shirt to shroud his father in it. The Prophet gave him his own shirt. He then attended the funeral and even prayed for him, until a Quranic verse was revealed guiding him not to do so for hypocrites. This act of kindness to the son and initial willingness to pray for his enemy showed incredible leniency. 5. the Bedouin who pulled his cloak. The event: the Prophet was wearing a coarse cloak with a thick hem. A Bedouin man came to him and, wanting his attention, pulled his cloak so violently that the rough edge left a mark on the Prophet's shoulder. The act of leniency: the Prophet simply turned to him with a smile and said, "Ask me for what you need." He did not scold him for his roughness or react with anger. He addressed his need with patience and kindness. 6. Dealing with the man who urinated in the mosque. The event: a Bedouin man entered the mosque in Medina and started to urinate. The companions were outraged and rushed to stop him. But the Prophet intervened. The act of mercy and wisdom: he told them, "Do not interrupt him. Leave him alone." After the man had finished, the Prophet calmly called him and gently explained, "These mosques are not for urinating or for any filth. They are for the remembrance of Allah, prayer, and the recitation of the Quran." He then asked his companions to pour a bucket of water over the area to clean it. He prioritized education and gentle correction over punishment and humiliation. 7. His prayer for the Meccans at Uhud. The event: during the Battle of Uhud, the Prophet was severely injured. His tooth was broken, his face was bleeding, and he had fallen into a pit. His companions were being killed around him. The act of mercy: in this state of extreme pain and vulnerability, he did not curse his attackers. Instead, he raised his hands to the sky and prayed, "O Allah, forgive my people, for they do not know." Sahih al-Bukhari. To conclude, these episodes demonstrate that Prophet Muhammad's mercy was not a strategic choice but a fundamental character trait. It was extended to his bitterest enemies, Meccans. Those who physically harmed him, people of Taif, the poisoner. The ignorant and rude, the Bedouin. Hypocrites who betrayed him. He embodied the Quranic command, "Repel evil with that which is better," and thereupon, the one whom between you and him is enmity, will become as though he was a devoted friend. Quran 41:34. His life stands as a timeless testament to the power of forgiving others, not because they deserve it, but because peace and mercy are the greater virtues.